still working on it, so it's the demo of the sequel. Hello. How are all your techniques going? My techniques are working fine. Okay. I have all my tech ready and set up.
Lucifer, are you able to secure the funding for the zombie faculty sequel? I mean, like via Patreon or the income from one of the faculty cities?
Yeah.
Well, I'm really happy that it's something wonderful.
Stand in the center for now.
Actually, if you'll pardon me, I'm just going to go out nearby and get some eat because I haven't eaten until since 10:30.
You go do that. You should.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Handshake? Thank you.
Still room.
Oh, this fills up.
There's no limit to how many people can show up to this. I mean, take more chairs and crowd around if you want to. Some of you will have to be getting out of your chairs anyway, so.
Hey.
And how long are the pictures done already?
I feel like this may be a
varies.
multi-session
Like
thing,
it, yeah, it can be a multi-session thing. Like I can do about 15, 20 minutes each or so. Okay. And stop whenever you want me to stop.
Cool. Well, I think we're gonna stop around just around 8. So
Okay.
we should have time to do it.
All right. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Misunderstanding. This is an interactive play that you will be performing in. So to start with, I'm going to need 2 volunteers who feel comfortable reading off of the screen out loud. Yes, you and you. Please come on up. You can come out through here, into the middle over here. Choose your character. Put on a wig. And take your mobile device and words will appear at various points and you get to read off them. And you stay seated to begin with. And you take your stuff and start over at the end here. Great. Now I'm going to need a couple of people to make decisions. Who would like to make decisions? You look like you'd like to make decisions, and so would you. Here you go, and here you go. So at certain points in the story, there will be some dialogue options that appear, and you can select them. Okie doke. So let's get started.
Excuse me, are you Artemis Fiddler of Bacteria Stories?
Oh yeah, that's me, Artemis.
I'm Zeph Ponce.
Zeph, over
I hope this isn't too awkward, but I follow you on Twitter. I'm at Zachomatica.
Oh. Well, yeah, it's hard to keep track of who's on Twitter. You know, there's so many people on it all day.
I understand. I mean, someone as popular as you probably has a lot of followers, huh?
Popular, that's hilarious.
So it's okay if I sit here.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
So, are you having a good awesome time?
Better than I thought it would be actually. Of course, I don't think I was looking all that much.
I tried to head over to your table, but it was super packed. Have you been selling a lot of artwork?
Not super huge amount, actually. Most of the traffic's good to the other artists at the table. I guess it doesn't really help that I haven't made a comic book yet. That seems to be the thing that gets the most people buying things. I don't really have any t-shirts or much either.
You know, I've always thought it'd be a great idea if you made t-shirts of the bacteria things. I definitely wear one.
I'm not actually entirely sure how that particular strip got so popular. It was a one-off thing and drew one of those out ideas.
Well, you know, kittens are always a sure thing for success where internet can work.
How about you? Have you seen anything awesome con that was particularly awesome?
I went on a panel on women in the video game industry.
Oh, women in the video game industry, huh? I think it could be interesting.
It was. There was this one panelist who kept being all contrarian. She said something along the lines that she was hoping that by this time next year, sexism would be over and she would have to speak at women in games panels. I got the feeling that the other panelists were overly cautious not to say anything that could be construed as negative to their employers.
I normally don't like going to panels because I always feel like people dealing with one another. I do like it when someone tries to shake things up. I also hate it when people go up and ask questions that aren't really questions, they're more like the entire life story.
Yeah, that can be pretty annoying, huh?
Do you live near here, or did you have to travel the ways away from them?
I live about a 6-hour drive away in West Denny. I try to make the trip over to Terminal City every awesome con, at least.
Oh, it's further away than me, for sure. I don't even bother going to Austin if I want local.
There isn't really much in the way of geek-oriented events where I am. This is pretty much as local as it gets for me. Oh, unless you count the internet. Anyway.
Oh yeah, the omnipresent internet. Can't live with it, can't live without it. So, what do you do besides go to conventions?
I make music, chiptunes mostly. I turn old computers into synths and turn their beeps and bleeps into, well, still bleeps and bloops, but in a danceable rhythm of sorts.
Neat. I don't listen to a lot of chip tunes, except I have heard of some. I also get by a car on my bike right over here.
Rode your bike here? Wow, I'd be scared to ride a bike in Terminal City traffic way, seriously.
No, I'm used to it. I've been riding my bike pretty much everywhere lately. I can't afford a car. And public transit right here is pretty damn today.
Yeah, having a car and living in Terminal City is pretty expensive, yes. I've been meaning to ask, is Artemis your real name?
What do you mean by real name is It's not the name I was born with, but I consider it a real name. I don't get why the names are considered real of names our parents gave us, not the names we give ourselves.
Maybe it's because names are something other people use or do.
But you know that I use mine and just much as anyone else. Granted, it could be because I think a monologue is speaking in second person, but still.
Do you use your own monologue? What does it sound like?
Something on the lines of the following. Goodness, Artemis, you're at a big North Spain convention. What are you doing? You're hiding in a coffee shop. Except you aren't really hiding anymore. Because now there's this guy talking to you. He wants to hear your inner monologue. And next scroll. Also doesn't appear to me as a poem too. Feels kind of weird that this has become so friendly. Since House of Con's been happening, you didn't really see people wandering around being nice to each other on a regular day. That's for sure.
Well, since I only come here for Awesome Con, it feels like it's like this all the time. I wouldn't be
Yeah, people mostly keep to themselves, I guess. Especially in the winter months. Spraying and raining all the time. Sometimes, but terminal city suffers from what the seasonal affective disorder. But I mean, you do have friends in town, so think out loud. Like on my last birthday, I decided to go get together party thing. A bunch of people RSVP'd, but all but 2 of them picked up the last minute. And ones who did show up were like 2 hours late.
Wow, that's too bad. I guess cities can be really alienating, huh?
Yeah, feel like there are not too many condos and not enough community. Plus, everything's expensive, so no one can really afford to go out a lot. To make it worse, so for the interviews to go out, and real city would have more nightlife. Because right here close to like 11 p.m.
Must be better than living out in the woods at least. I feel so isolated from everything we do. Even having enough friends I could invite to a party, except that for home and fantasy.
I have to admit, sometimes I wonder about going off to this somewhere more secluded, where I don't have to pay it so much rent because I don't have to make hard all day. This is sometimes maybe a thing, you know. Right now, I feel like commute everywhere at a grocery store with a walking distance in my apartment.
I think I just settled for living somewhere where I knew more people close to my age who had the same interests, so that I wouldn't have to travel so far to see friends.
Do you ever perform live music?
I have a couple of times at small events with friends. I like to do that sort of thing more though. These days, performing shows for a live audience is the only way musicians make much of a living. You can't get discovered on the radio or whatever anymore. That said, I know these people who are developing video games and I'm trying to convince them to let me do the soundtrack. They won't be able to pay me, but it might help me land actual PDs in the future.
Can I hear some of the music?
Sure, hold on a second. So, what do you think?
That was good stuff.
Aw, thanks. I always worry that my music isn't going to go over well with everyone. I'm glad you actually.
So is chip music what you do for a living then?
I wish my actual job is my own opportunities. Who knows? Maybe I'll be as famous as you one day, and my hobby can
You know, it's just me. Awesome Con only white convention. Besides myself, I think I could count the other people of color as all one.
contract, now that you mention it, you're right. There isn't a lot of ethnic diversity at all.
Well, it's weird to me because the city in general actually is a lot more diverse. I think Austin County would like that so much. But no, it's complete, utter white spill and expo floor. Anyway, I can't even count the number of times people come to my table asking me where I'm from. And when I told them they are, no, really, where are you from? I mean, I told them I'm born in Douglas, moved to St. Helens in 06, moved to Greater Toronto during high school. What more do they want? I just lead a living, quesadilla my entire life just because I'm melanin levels and more country than theirs? Seriously?
Maybe you should tell them you're from outer space.
No, I rely on this as a thought being heard. Sometimes I also think that pretending the time travel in the future. Everyone's so interbred and races don't exist anymore.
Oh, the horror that how will we oppress people who look different from us?
Oh, well, we can always use that getting woman. Unless we also decide that gender no longer exists. What that is.
You know, that would be kind of nice. I always thought gender was kind of pretty pointless.
Well, it's also weird is that people out here who look like me always come to themselves in Spanish. I don't even know Spanish. Except for basic tourist stuff, like where to find all kind.
Maybe you should learn some Spanish and some heads.
Thought about it. It doesn't have time to read more languages. I mean, I barely feel I can do that by English as it is.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm always really intimidated when playing games with folks from Germany or France or Sweden, and it turns out that not only can they speak English better than me, they also speak like 4 or 5 other languages.
Tell me about it. Now it feels so cultural.
I feel like a total fanboy, but can I ask you some questions about actresses?
Sure, knock yourself out.
I always wonder, is bacteria stories based on your life at all?
Well, I'm not a single sort of organism, so I wouldn't say it's the same thing near correct mapping. But as with all fiction, there's some resemblances. Anything curious about in particular?
Is it supposed to be standard for you?
Everyone seems to think that for some reason. Well, she does have a few of my characteristics. She's actually more based on a friend of mine in high school. Who deadpan humor thing better than I ever did. So I actually gotta go.
It was nice to finally meet you. Maybe I'll see you again one day.
Sure.
All right, let's do it again with different people this time. Who wants to come up and be a puppet? Act. Yes, come on up. And who wants to drive? All right. And you are. There you go.
You can, yeah. Do
Elaborate if you like.
I start over here?
Yes.
Okay.
Once more. Excuse me, are you Artemis Filler of Bacteria Stories?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm Zed Fox. I'm a huge fan of your webcomic. It's been on my newsfeed since 2011.
In that case, I apologize in advance for not updating it as often as you said. As a companion, like
So, is it okay if I sit here?
yeah, sure.
I like this coffee shop. It's got a charmingly old-fashioned ambiance.
Yeah, and it's relatively empty too. I figure everyone at AwesomeCon usually winds up at the espresso next door instead.
Right, an espresso. That explains it.
I can't stand espresso. I'll only go there if like I'm desperate. Like I'm in a small town and the only options are espresso and that brown powdery stuff that comes in a can. Plus, they are single-handedly responsible for perpetuating the mispronunciation of the word espresso, which is doubly annoying.
I don't even like espresso drinks. I'd rather have tea instead.
I have to pee. Sorry about that. What were we talking about again?
So, you're having a good awesome time?
I don't know. It's a con, I guess. Could be worse.
Yeah, how so?
Well, for starters, I finally found a coffee shop around here that isn't overrun by hordes of ninja zombie cosplayers, accompanied by really bad dubstep music. So that's something.
Yeah, it sure does get loud on the expo floor, doesn't it? Hard to hear yourself think. So, yesterday I cosplayed as Roberta St. Albert from Superfest.
I've never played Sleuth West. Who's Roberta St. Albert?
Oh, she's the main villain who we spend the entire game searching for, visiting every country in the world in the process. She's got long, flaming red hair and has this little black dress and a fedora, fishnets. You've probably seen her before. She's pretty recognizable and iconic.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know though. It seems to me like lots of people cross-dress at conventions. I just had the impression it was a big deal.
So here's the thing. I wasn't really cross-dressing. I've been dressing like that in private for years. And when I wear a wig and a dress and heels, it's the only time I feel like me, if that makes sense. Anyway, yesterday was the first time I did that out in public, and it was unbelievable. No one recognized me, and a few people even said my cosplay was super accurate. I even caught my friend Sparrow staring at my legs, and he's as straight as he gets. Of course, once I saw Sparrow, I had to get out of there before he could come up and get a closer look and realize it. So I booked it straight to my hotel room, washed off all my makeup, and changed back into my regular clothes before anyone could figure it out.
So, does this mean that you identify as female? Should I use different pronouns for you?
Actually, I've been thinking about this, and I'd really like to know what it's like to be called she and her. I don't think we used feminine pronouns on me before, for obvious reasons, but I've always wondered if they might fit me better. And to tell you the truth, I don't think I completely identify as a woman, but I still like the sound of she and her.
Okay then, she and her it is. How about you? You seen anything at AwesomeCon that you feel is particularly awesome?
I randomly bumped into the famous internet video blog celebrity Rob Crenshaw, also known as Parcheesi. And when I say bumped, I mean that literally. Needless to say, Parcheesi was pretty damn pissed.
Wait, is he that guy in the bowler hat who talks really, really fast and F-bombs every other word?
That's the one.
Someone showed me something of his to me once. I wasn't amused. He was just trying way too hard to be funny, and I wasn't feeling it. It seems to be a common problem with certain men. They seem to go through life assuming they're funny when they really aren't at all.
Well, I'll have you know that I am very aware of my lack of sense of humor, so then.
So, what do you do besides going to conventions?
I make music, chiptunes, mostly. I turn old computers into synths and turn their loops and loops into, well, still beeps and loops, but in a danceable rhythm at once.
I never really got the nostalgic appeal of chiptunes. Maybe it's because I didn't grow up with a game console like all the other kids my age did.
Video games were really important to me, growing up. Living in a virtual world meant I could be whoever I wanted to be without dealing with the harsh reality of, well, reality.
Can I hear some of your music?
Sure, why not? So, what do you think?
That was good stuff.
Thanks. I was worried that my music isn't going to go over well with everyone, so I'm glad you actually like it. I'm just scared, you know, to take that step and be openly who I am. Like, when I was a kid, I got teased all the time for being small and kind of girly, so I learned to suppress that part of myself and come across as invisible most of the time.
That's so awful. I'm sorry that happened to you.
I think maybe that's why I got really into video games. Whenever I could play as a girl in a game, I would, and no one would know. And if anyone found out I was really guy, I'd say I was just looking at women like everybody does. In some ways, it's true. I do like looking at women, but in an aspirational way, in addition to just plain aesthetic preference. I remember in my high school, there was this really brave, openly gay guy in my graduating class. His name was Jeremy. He didn't care what anyone thought. I always wished I could be like him. I also had a huge crush on him, but he was way too popular to notice my existence, let alone look at me in that way. Anyway, there was this one time the school did a talent show thing, and Jeremy decided to lip sync Britney Spears while dressed as her. It was epic.
I'll bet.
But then he came outside of the parking lot to find that someone completely totaled his car and spray painted it with every variation on the word cat in existence. No one saw him again after that. We didn't know if he moved or dress dropped out or finished high school some other way.
That's awful. What would possess anyone to be so hateful?
Hell if I know. But if a guy as popular and well loved as Jeremy gets back in a crowd, I can't imagine what would happen to me. Nice weather we're having today, isn't it?
I prefer when it's overcast, especially on days when I'm spending most of my time indoors.
Well, I get seasonal affective disorder in the winter, so actually being in a place where there's sunlight really feels really refreshing.
Good for you. So is chiptune music what you do for a living then?
I wish. My actual job is filing at a doctor's office. Who knows? Maybe I'll be famous as you one of these days, and my hobby can finally pay off.
Do you ever perform live?
I have a couple of times at small events for friends. I'd like to be more of that sort of thing. These days, performing shows for a live audience is the only way for musicians to make much of a living. You can't get discovered on the radio or whatever anymore. That said, I know these people who are developing video game trying to convince them to let me do the soundtrack. They won't be able to pay me, but it might help me land an actual paid gigs in the future.
Do you live near here, or did you have to travel a good ways to get to Austin?
I'm about a 6-hour drive away in the West End. I try to make it the trip over to Terminal City every Austin Con at least.
Ah, that's further away than me for sure. I doubt I'd even bother to go to Austin Con if I weren't local.
There isn't really much in the way of geek-oriented events where I am. This is pretty much as local as it gets for me. Well, unless you count the internet, which is everywhere.
Oh yes, you know, he has the internet. Can't live with it, can't live without it. I almost got hit by a car on my bike ride over here.
You rode your bike here? Wow. I'd be scared to ride a bike in Terminal City traffic. Like, seriously.
Anyway, the guy in the car that almost hit me starts yelling at me for going too slow and being in the way or whatever. He's all like, "Learn to ride, dumbass." And I wasn't doing anything wrong. So of course, as he passes, I flip him the bird because he's being an asshole. And then, get this, he stops and starts driving in reverse towards me. I'm totally freaked out, so I ride into a side street to avoid him, and then, what the hell, he follows me. Starts calling me a fucking bitch. I was in so much shock that I just let him continue yelling at me until he finally decided to leave.
Wow, you said it. What an asshole.
You know, it really seems like drivers in the city are getting angrier and angrier. Now that bike commuting is becoming more of a popular means of transport, it's like they have it in for us or something.
Well, we're also used to cars in cities and not so used to bicycles. Most people don't respond well to change.
Maybe, but in this case, change is necessary. Since the recession's happened, people just can't afford cars as much anymore. Plus, the environment's going down the toilet, and if we keep doing what we're doing, the Earth won't even be inhabitable anymore.
If it were possible for me to not have to drive a car, I'd get rid of mine. But I live all the way in Denny, and if I don't have a car, I'm practically stuck at home. Not everyone's able to live in a densely populated city.
Right. And please know that I'm not judging you specifically. If you have your reasons, they're your reasons. I'm just worried about the big picture is all.
You know, I've been having such a great time talking to you, but I'm starting to get kind of hungry. Do you have a good place to get food?
Well, there's this cute and surprisingly inexpensive little French place 2 blocks away that's adjacent to a cheese shop. I think it's called Affective or something.
Sounds awesome. Do you want to come with me? I mean, if you'd rather be alone, that's fine, but I'd love the company of your friend.
You know, I would. I already made plans to get pizza. Yeah, I would, but I already made plans to get pizza with a bunch of webcomic artists.
Oh, okay then. I'll try out that place on my own. It was great to meet you. I hope the rest of your awesome con experience goes well.
Yeah, you too.
All right, let's do one more variant. This, fix this a little bit. Okay, who wants to go up next? And who wants to drive? Who else? Here you go.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm Zach Boggs. I think this isn't too awkward, but I found you on Twitter. I'm at Zach Knight.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of who's on Twitter. I mean, there's so many people on it.
I understand. I mean, someone who's popular too probably has a lot of followers.
Popular. That's hilarious.
Is it okay if I sit?
Yeah, sure. Wait, I know who you are. You're that guy who had that long Twitter conversation with me about how I handled Gadget's mitosis seed and bacteria stories, right?
Oh yeah, that. Look, I didn't mean to make you mad at me. I just thought you might appreciate it if I pointed out some factual inconsistencies between that scene and how mitosis works in the real world.
Well, suffice to say, if I really want that information, I have Wikipedia at my disposal. As it stands, bacteria stories is a work of fiction.
I was only trying to help. I mean, there might actually be some biologists reading your comic, and I don't see it embarrassed.
Gee, thanks. It's always nice to know I have a gallant young man protecting me from the many hordes of rabid cell biologists. Typical straight white guys with their splaining shit.
I guess I've got to go.
That was good.
We've got time for another short one.
Yeah.
So, anyone want to go up?
I've actually done this before, full disclosure.
Who else?
They was there to actually witness it. They gave me months swing for.
You want who else wants to go?
So,
Yeah, come on. And who wants to drive?
Anyone else wants?
sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Excuse me, are you audience figure of bacteria stories?
Yep, that's me.
I'm Zach Boggs. I'm a huge fan of your webcomic. It's been on my newsfeed since 2011.
Thanks. I'm super flattered.
So, is it okay if I sit here?
Yeah, sure.
Look, this may sound really weird, but I'm stuck in some kind of Groundhog Day time loop right now. I keep repeating this conversation I'm having with you over and over again, and I don't know how to stop it.
What? You're shitting me.
I come here, introduce myself, sit down, we talk. Sometimes we get along really well, sometimes we wind up hating each other. And most of the time, though, it's just awkward. I don't know why.
And this is an awkward how exactly?
I don't know if there's any non-awkward way of explaining that you're stuck in a time loop. Look, can we start this conversation over? I feel like I completely screwed up, and if I can just give me one more chance, maybe I can do it right this time around. Okay, I got this. Wait here. Excuse me, are you Artemis Stidler of Bacteria Stars?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm Seth Fox. I'm a huge fan of your webcomic. It's been on my news feed since 2011.
In that case, I apologize in advance for not updating it as often since then. As you can imagine, life got in the way.
So, is it okay if I sit over there? Sit here?
I guess. Sure, go ahead. I have to pee. Sorry about that. What were we talking about again?
Do you ever have those conversations where you question whether the person you're talking to is actually a person and not an AI simulation?
Actually, yes. But not only that, sometimes I'm not really sure whether or not I'm an AI simulation either.
I wonder if there's a way to actually test this. Okay, so let's say you're walking in a desert. You see this turtle that's on its back. No, wait. The turtle is actually right side up, and it's crawling towards you. And then you flip it over so it's on its back.
Wait, why would I flip a turtle on its back? It wouldn't be able to turn itself around, and that would just be cruel.
Never mind. I think this was probably the wrong line of questioning. Okay, how do you feel about CAPTCHAs on web forms?
I hate them. They're pointless and just add more of a hassle whenever I have to fill out a web form. Don't they know that computers are eventually going to figure out how to read them? If they haven't already, that is.
Aha! This proves you're really an AI, because if you were a human, you would definitely... Wait, actually, yeah, I can see why a human would say something like that. I guess, this is so hard and confusing. Help!
Yeah, this is starting to feel really awkward. I better go.
Alright, well, it's just about 8, so I think they're going to be letting us eat food and drinks outside.
Very good.
Well done.
Let's matrix.
That was fun. I'm so glad you did all those groundhog days.
There's a green pair and a blue pair.
All right. Anyways, that was a lot of fun.
I feel like in general, having all the codes be able to communicate.
Yeah. I got the code all open source and stuff.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
What language is it?
JavaScript.
Okay.
Yes.
I was about to guess. It's like,
Yeah.
you're dealing with 4 iPhones and your web hosting
That's
device.
pretty awesome. I created some dashboard widgets in JavaScript.
It might be helpful to know that I think, it depends on which iOS you're running, but I think there's actually a marquee mode that will get rid of
Oh,
some
fantastic. Yeah.
For the headers, right?
Yeah, I think it's actually new in one of the iOS.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't like updated the iOS on this in a really long time.
Well, those are like icon
These are-
settings, right?
Yeah.